to disassemble it into its various parts. I want to try to get it down to a bare wood cabinet so that I can clean it, polish it, have it ready for later use. Now, the one thing I just did before I got home today is I bought a container that will allow me to put the parts and such in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to categorize each one. Like this one on the left will be speaker parts, one will be antenna parts, one will be this, one will be that, So that's going to help me put the thing back together. I'm going to treat this like a Model T. Like some of these car restorers, what they'll do is as they take it apart, they clean and polish the part, and then they put it away. So by the time they're getting ready to put it together again, they pretty much have a restored product ready to go. That's pretty much what I think I'm going to intend to do. So, without further ado, the first thing I'm going to do is take the antenna off. Now the antenna comes off by itself. It does. It's able to be removed because, of course, if you want to use this on a shelf, you can take this, put it in the back. So, to do that, this knurled nut on top, and I'm just going to, usually you loosen it. In this case, I'm just going to take the whole thing off, which is just like so. My God, this is a long screw. So, okay, there it is. Here it is, and you see it's got like a little point on the end of it. It's brass. And so now, in theory, there we go. And the antenna assembly comes off. I'm going to put this down here, out of harm's way. Now, the other thing I'm going to need to do, this will go into one of the containers and put it under antenna parts. The next thing I'm going to do is take the door off, and that's going to be part of just a restoration by itself, because in order for the radio and the antenna to connect, see if I can get a light on here. You'll notice inside here, between this one and this hinge, it's like a little flexible wire. The antenna wires come through here, are soldered on, and then this little flexible wire goes over to this one, which in turn then travels up through here to the antenna contacts. So, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start taking this apart all along here. Alright, all 6 screws have been removed, and we'll pull away the door, and as you'll notice, let me see here, I've got my eyes on here as well. I've got a headlight on. There's a wire that's attached to here. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this wire. Should be one down here as well. Yep, there's one right here as well. We're going to cut each wire, and once we do, that's going to allow this door to fall away. In fact, let me see if I've got cutters here. Well, I did. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I've got them. No, of course not. So, oh, there they are. Okay. So, we've got our pair of nippers here. We're going to do one. Wow, that's some pretty tight-ass wire. Alright, there's one. Now, I may need to hang on to this. This one was all just about ready to fall apart, so there we go. There's the antenna frame. And let me bring this down. Nothing on this one. Okay. You can see the wire on the bottom part. And then there's a wire down here as well. So I'll probably need to rethread those wires, and the way to get into those, each one of these triangles has a screw, holds the frame in for strength. And if you notice down here on the bottom here, that is probably where the wire leads off to. I may have to remove all the wax or whatever's in there and redo that. And then this center part, that's for this contact here. So, everything is undone once again. We'll put that down here. Now, next thing I need to do is take these 6 screws off. And then remove the hinges and cut the wires that are here. Okay, the top hinge just comes right off. There's nothing special about this one. Here's the center terminal, and it's being held. Let's see if I can pull that. Well, there it went. Same situation. There's a wire here, and it was soldered directly. Now, if you'll notice here, real carefully, this is almost like a braided wire that connects these 2 sections together, and it's all gone. It was supposed to be connected across here, and then in turn that wire is supposed to connect. So I've got to reproduce this, and I've got just the thing for it, which I'll demonstrate in the one of the next episodes. The gentleman who ran the restoration in France shows a really neat way of taking care of a situation like this. So now we'll get the third one here. Probably won't take anything at all to pull this out. Yep. As you can see, here's the wire. And it's just solder, so oop. Want to be careful, don't want to damage the wood. There it goes. Pulls right off. So, there's one wire. Here's 2 wires. I'll probably be replacing both of those. Clean all this out. And here are the antenna leads. And looking at everything else, everything looks like it's in pretty good condition. So now, next thing I'm going to do is to pry this open and take out whatever's in here. I've already taken the speaker out, so that's not going to be a problem, but there might be some assorted hardware that needs to be loosened up, and I'll go on ahead and do that. Alright, here's the inside. Here is one of the antenna terminals, and the other one's going to be inside here where the catacomb and such is, but you can see here's one of the antenna leads. We've got this shock absorber that needs to be removed. We've also got these 2 holders for the battery, and then there's 1 screw up here. So I'm going to need to remove all this, and I think these are to the antenna, if I'm not the antenna, but to the speaker. So we're going to remove all that and get this all emptied out. Alright, I've removed the speaker shock absorber. Here is that, and I want to make a note for myself. This has a flat edge because it's going to be going against a flat piece of metal here, or a flat piece of wood. And then this, I can pull it off. There we go. There's the rubber. That's shot. And then there's this piece of, I'm not sure what the heck this stuff is. Maybe phenolic, I have no, it's not phenolic, it's too, well, it could be. I have no idea what it is, but that's got to be part of that. So we went ahead and removed all that. Now we'll take care of the rest of this. Alright, this is for reference. Taking off one of the battery holders, you get a screw, a spring nut, and a washer. Same thing needs to be done down there, but I'll have to do it from behind because it's stuck and it's rotating. And the other thing is that screw. Okay, next thing we need to do is to take out the front panel here. That involves these screws, these 4. You want to take out these 4. You don't want to take out the middle ones. The middle ones are what hold the panel, this wood panel, to the sub-chassis. So I'm going to take off these 4. That should then allow me to pull the entire chassis out, and then we can just pull out the wiring. Okay, that was easy enough. I've gotten everything pulled out. We've got this large umbilical, and here is the top of one of the antenna leads. It's been stapled over here, and then it should also be going up here to the top. Here's a sponge rubber mount. I will be having some questions about this in an upcoming video, because I have some questions about how this is put together. It's a little bit different than what I've seen on other Radiola 26s. But what I need to do is to go back here, and, well, first off, I think I may. Let's see, is this the cable? Yeah, that's the one. I need to disconnect it from over here. And then I need to go back here, see if I can remove all the umbilical from here and get this completely free, so I just have this chassis, or this cabinet, freed up. Okay, here's a look from the back. Now, the umbilical goes to this plug, which plugs into here. Now, when you use the larger battery box, you plug this through a hole down here, and that goes through it. It's like a pass-through. So what we need to do, I need to separate out the A's and such. Get this out of the way. And in theory, the umbilical, yeah, just passes right on through. So that leaves this wire, which I had to guess is probably the, oh boy, that's not good. That should be loose. We have to work on that. But these should be the headphone, or the speaker terminals. I don't think that piece of wood should be loose. I may have to do some structural repair on that. Another compression nut. Okay, I've got that loose. And there's my C battery, by the way. It's actually 3 C cells that it's supposed to use. And that'll have to be taken apart as well. And it's got all of its leads and such. And it looks like there's a couple of more metal holders here. Wow, there's been some corrosion in here. And would you look at this? This is the first time I've seen this. If you look carefully, there's holes cut for each one of those A batteries, and they've had some corrosion. So that may be the reason why this board back here is loose. The corrosion probably got to the board. So I'll have to clean all that up. And, okay, I've got the headphone leads out. Now, it's a matter of getting our antenna leads all cleaned up. Probably going to have to do something with this, because they've got that friction taped all together. So I think I'll take that apart, cut all this out, and we'll go from there. I may wind up replacing it. In fact, I think I should. There's already a break right here. I can see that. So that's shot. Oh, it's part of the battery lead, it looks like. Maybe? I'm not sure. Haven't a clue. Oh, that's one of the headphone leads. I'm sorry. Never mind. Well, anyway, I'm going to go on ahead and cut all that out and get the next step ready. Okay, all that's left is the antenna lead. We've got this staple here, which I should be able to just pull that out. I may have to use some pliers. And then that connector in the back. Disconnect all that. I may just clip it. Well, maybe not. That way I have an idea of how everything goes. And then I should be able to start taking the handle and its assemblies apart. And the way it's held together, it's not, when you grip this thing, it's not just being held onto the wood. I don't know if I can show this underneath, but there's a big metal piece here that's holding it in place like a crossbeam. And it is attached directly to this. So when you lift this thing up, the thrust is being put on that crossbeam. So this thing doesn't pull away and snap to pieces. So, and look at there. I don't know if you can see that. My hands are just dirty as all out. This thing is filthy on the inside, which is expected. It's 90 years old. I think I'm just going to go on ahead and clip this. I'm just going to redo this wire because you can see how frayed it is. I'll just clip it here and see if I can get this pulled away. Okay, so this is what we're left with. The carcass. So, I'm probably going to leave this for right now the way it is. Look in here. These must be like, oh, I'm not sure what they are, like spring clips. Ooh, this one's a little bit loose too. May have to do some structural repair there as well. And you woodworker guys, let me know what would be the best way to fix this. Guess I'm gonna have, I see here, it's broken off. I'm gonna have to get some glue in here behind and then press that into place. It's just that side, so I should be able to spread, oh yeah, I should be able to spread more than enough in there and put some wood glue and then push that into place. And yeah, I think I'm going to redo the entire antenna assembly, make it nice and solid. There's the antenna clip and there's the sponge rubber, which I'm going to make a replica of. And there's the handle assembly. I may see about trying to go on ahead and disconnecting all that and get this out of the way later. But this is the general assembly of it. There's a general disassembly, I should say. Now here on the back, there's the hinges. I'm not even going to go through all that detail. I may do this later. You still got some more hinges, and you got this block, which I'm going to take that all apart and go through there, and there's the C assembly, and that's pretty much all of it. And just aside from hardware and such, that's the main gist of a 26. So I'll go on ahead and continue disassembly, and I'll continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done. I'm lucky I got what I did done for this Christmas Eve. You can see how much dirt's in this thing. So that's going to have to be all wiped down. Give it a good clean up. See if there's any more damage. But all in all, carcass is in very good condition. So I'm most happy about it. So I'll continue with disassembly tomorrow. Meantime, I'll show you what I've got here so far. There you go. To the right in the middle speaker, there's the antenna assembly, and then battery posts and clips and such are in here. So, okay. I will go on ahead and continue this tomorrow or whenever for the next day, and we'll go from there until this thing is completely bare and ready for a good treatment of Restore Finish and feed and wax.